His love can't reach. There's no place where we can't find peace. There's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. That His love can't reach, and there's no place where we can't find peace, and there's no end to amazing grace. Take me in with your arms spread wide. Take me in like an orphan child. Never let go, never leave my side. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you. In the middle of the storm, I am holding on. I am holding on. I'm holding on in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley, and I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and it's wonderful to see you all here today. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all of you who are joining us online and during the week. You are in our hearts and in our prayers, and we are so blessed this morning to have with us so many wonderful people. But first, if you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community, welcoming people from all walks of life who are seeking a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance, people looking for spiritual growth, transformation, and to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Joe Angelis as our platform leader, joining me on the platform. Margot LeDuc. I already forgot. It's brand new. Margot LeDuc and the Voices of Unity Praise Team. Big round of applause. Yeah. Russell Norman is on piano. Ronnie Beck is on drums. And so we'll begin our service today with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in song.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love. serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning? Cool. So I am Joe Angeles. It's a pleasure to be your platform leader today. It's so good to connect with all of you this morning, both in person and online, and everyone who tunes in during the week. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto Sunday service. Yes? And the cool thing is we are part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education that teaches positive, practical, spiritual principles that you and I can apply to help us live a more joyful, and I learned this last week from Casey, juicy lives. Hubby took on that one, and I'm like, yeah, we're here to learn how to live juicy lives. And the thing is, Unity is a spiritual movement of prayer, we are welcoming and inclusive, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. Thank goodness for the script. And we have 5 core principles that guide us on this spiritual path. First one, God is. There's only one power and presence active in the universe and in our lives, God, the good, omnipotence. And you may call this God, divine love, source, spirit. And what's bubbling up for me for 2023 is oneness. Just one. I think my name for God for this year is just one. Make it simple, make it easy. And so this oneness, this God, according to our second principle, is the substance and intelligence innate in every person in all creation. And for our principle number 2, my favorite thing to remember, if you want to remember this, Reverend John's favorite name for God, allness. The allness of life, love, and wisdom. All that is. That's it. So oneness, allness, those are my 2 words so far. Then it makes it easy, I know about you, to keep track so that number 3 will be easier. Because our principle number 3 is our law of mind action, which means thoughts and feelings in our mind produce after their kind. And the cool thing is, I'm reading a book, How God Changes Your Brain. I was like, yeah. You know, I mean, like how even just the thought of God alone, that alone can change the neural circuitry in your brain. And the cool thing is we already have a practice in mind for this, which is our 4th principle. Our 4th principle is meditation and prayer. So like it says, like we know, it connects us to that creative, constructive power of source to work in and through and as us. So in a way, it's like, you know, coming from prayer, I come out more peaceful, more loving, subdued a little bit the fears and the anger at times. So that when I go into number 5, which is the practical application, I do it more out of love, out of more authenticity. And like in Unity, when we live according to these truths daily, we become what we are created to be, that divine spark that we came here to be, the Christ. And the cool thing is the 5 core principles also help us in living our vision statement. And I invite you to affirm it with me. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And now our call to worship.
could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you, Margot. And now for a reading from the Daily Word. Today's Daily Word is prosperity. I will read our affirmation, then I will invite you to affirm it with me. I broaden my perspective of prosperity. Would you affirm that with me together? I broaden my perspective of prosperity. When I think of prosperity, I may think of financial wealth or my possessions. I may even feel tempted to compare my life to someone else's and feel as though I come up short in comparison. Today, my understanding of prosperity grows. Feeling safe and secure in who I am is prosperity. Knowing I am gloriously made in the image of God is priceless. Realizing the abundance of the natural world and partaking of it is a gift. All of these are wonderful reminders I reside in the kingdom of heaven. The more I appreciate the riches of the material world, the more I am aware of my greatest prosperity, my oneness with God. And our Bible verse for today is from Matthew 6, verse 26. Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Now a solo from our praise team. Voices of Unity praise team.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the songs of all my great-grandmothers and the dreams of all my great-grandfathers and the way to rise beyond the pain, all live, all live, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the smiles of all the unborn children and the dreams of a better day to come and the dance In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am, yeah. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. Oh, all that I am. More than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am.
I guess I have to get up here now. The Voices of Unity Praise team. That was fabulous, beautiful, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Well, it's the end of January. Can you believe it? We're on our way, aren't we? So a quick question for you. This is just a sidebar. It's the end of January. Have you put away all of your ornaments yet from whatever holiday you were? Yeah, yes, some yeses, some no's, a definite yes. Last year, for us, there always is like one ornament that doesn't get put away, one thing. This year it's a candle with bells around it, so it's somewhere else now in our living room. Last year, there were two little ornaments that as we were putting their friends away, they scurried underneath the TV console and hunkered down for the whole year. And then when we're ready to decorate the tree the next year, they came on out and said, "Hey, we're here." So, the whole year long, they were out. Well, the other thing that's interesting about the end of January, I think, is that this is about the time when those New Year resolutions begin to fade from our memory. Anybody have that experience? They start to flicker away. So this morning I thought, why is that? And I went online, I did a quick search, and here are the top 5 things, the top 5 reasons that those New Year's resolutions tend to flicker away. Now, I want you to listen to them, and see if you can hear a theme, or see how it shows up in you. So the first one is setting unrealistic expectations. Anybody resonate with that one? How about not going step by step? Too many goals at once. An inability to identify the obstacles. Now, in those top 4, are you hearing a theme? What's it saying to you? Anybody? Yeah, so too much stuff. What's it saying about you? Lack and limitation, not enough. I'm failing. Oh my gosh, you set too much unrealistic expectations. Can you believe that? You did that. I know, Karen's looking at me like, how can you say that to me? You're not going step by step, Karen. I'm just saying. There are too many goals at once. All of these things are like shaming us and blaming us. Of course you're going to fail. The 5th top reason, stress. Well, yeah, you look at the top 4, of course it's going to be stress. We put so much weight on ourselves for these New Year resolutions. Have you experienced that? So much weight on us, and then we blame ourselves for it flying away. It just flickers away. And we blame ourselves, and of course that creates stress. But here's the thing. The real problem is not that you have unrealistic expectations. Because I think that whatever you are imagining for yourself, whatever good you're imagining for yourself is within your realm of possibility if you choose to do it. But I think what really gets in our way is that we are battling those old patterns, our old past, and our old perceptions. So it really doesn't matter what you're going to put in front of you. It could be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but the problem is if we have these old perceptions that say, I can't really get there, I'm not going to do that, then those perceptions, what we call those beliefs, BS, it's a spiritual term. What's it stand for? Belief system. I had to get that out there right away just in case anybody took it in a different direction. Right? Those beliefs start to act up, and they put up a fight. And our automatic behaviors put up a fight because that's the way we've always done it. And most of it's unconscious. Most of it is beyond our realm of understanding because we just aren't looking within for that solution. So what is it that I can do to move beyond that? When we become aware of those emerging possibilities, and that's another wonderful word for a resolution, an emerging possibility. A possibility for each of us and what we can become and how we can live life and how we can experience life. When we become aware of those emerging possibilities, all of those past, present, all of the past, our perceptions and our patterns fight against it because it means they're in trouble. Because something has to give in order for this newness to emerge. You have to make space within your consciousness before these new ideas, these old ideas, these same ideas, the same set of resolutions that you had 2, 3, 4 years ago can come into manifestation. There has to be a safe space for it to land. And let me tell you, there is a war going on inside of your head whenever you set a goal, whenever you have that emerging vision of something, of you being more of who you've come here to be. I like to call it my authentic self. You might call it, that spark of divinity, that higher self, but that better half, that Christ consciousness, that part of me that is that pure essence. I just want to give a little bit more to the world and to experience world a little bit more from that perspective. And all of the old patterns start to kick in and start to create, and then we start to identify it with people out there and things out there and experiences out there. The biggest challenge that we have are these old patterns, pasts, and perceptions that are embedded within us that we tend to adopt as our sense of self. So the things that happened in the past become our, story of who we are in the present moment. They happened a long time ago, and yet we're still expressing and experiencing it in this present moment because we're bringing it up right now. All of those, the past, all of those perceptions, those old perceptions about who people are and what they're like, and I have this perception of somebody when they come in the room, I'm just expecting them to be that way. And I'm only going to see that perception. I'm not going to see anything else unless I take the time to disengage, to let go of the old stuff. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, "When you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. By letting go, it all gets done. I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes as common as grass." If you can let go of the Tao, if you can let go of that state of consciousness, if you can let go of your efforting to be enlightened, if you can let go with your mind and surround it with your heart, it will live inside you forever. Let's unpack this a little bit, because the first one here, when you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. And so we have to let go of the old patterns, the old pasts, and the old perceptions that we have made our sense of self. All of a sudden, that's who we are. We're so unconscious that we're walking through the world with this persona, right? And less of our authentic self, because those old things are driving us. Now, we did the Burning Bowl service at the beginning of the year, and that was our way of one practice of letting go. And then we did our Whitestone service, which is our practice of filling in that space with who we've come here to be, and the sense of who we want to bring into the world, that authentic part of us that we want to give more to the world. What a beautiful experience. And Yet at some time down the road, you may have felt that you have let go of some things, and yet here it is again. Anybody have that experience besides me? Oh, thank you. I'm not alone. Right? We let go of some of this, and then it just comes right back. Why is that? It's because we're not done with it yet. We're not done with it yet. And it's interesting because you'll see people, we'll get into conversations. Oh, I'm so over that. They're not. The more enthusiasm and energy they put into saying they're over it means there's a little bit of attachment there still. And this is from experience. So I'm talking about myself here. None of you, of course. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about myself. And I know when I'm done with it, it just isn't a part of me anymore. It doesn't come up anymore. It's not something that I remember as much. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, I remember that. But you know what? It's now in the archives. I've clicked that archive button and that email's gone. I don't know where it goes. It's just in the archives. I've never found the archives. I'm sure they're there somewhere if I ever want to rehash it. But I really don't. So we have to let things go. And to bring forth that emerging possibility, that greater sense of freedom. So any emerging possibility that's coming up for us, what we want is the experience that's behind it, right? We want the experience of sensing, of feeling a greater sense of freedom. We want the experience of having greater peace of mind, more love in our relationships, of being kinder, of having a sense of oneness. Whatever those senses are that we're feeling, that's a product of us being more of simply our authentic self. There isn't anything that we have to do to achieve it. And that's what he means by, if you let go of the Tao, then you will experience in your mind, then you will experience the Tao in your heart. If you let go of this awaking moment and just allow it, you'll be it. It's all the efforting that gets in our way, right? If we're so concerned about bringing good in the world, as he said, let me reread that line. By letting go, I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes as common as the grass. I let go of all desire for the common good. You see, we get so caught up in our attachment for things being right and good that we want to create right and good in the world, and we want to be that beacon for it. And that's all fine, but that attachment also means that we're coming to the situation with a sense of what? Lack. It's all messed up. And, if we're holding in consciousness that the world is messed up, trying to bring good, what are we going to bring? More messed upness. I don't know if that's a word or not. The grammarians I don't know if that's a word. You can correct me later. But you see, it's that consciousness, and what Lao Tzu is saying is that if we let go of the attachment to it, we're not saying it's not important, but if we hold such an attachment to anything in our lives, anything that we call good in our lives, we're holding that attachment and we're looking at it from the perspective of, I don't have it. So that grip is enforcing, I don't have it. I'm not, and the having it isn't even what we want. What we want lies behind the thing. What we want is the experience of it, the thought of it. What we want is the sense of freedom. What we want is the sense of inner peace, of contentment, of joy, of bliss. And when we let go of our attachment to it, we're letting go of the I'm not it. And we're just allowing what is already within you to come forward. We're allowing that divine essence, that spark to shine a little bit more so you can experience it. I think we're all looking for that aha moment. And most, I think all religious traditions have some aha moment, have some awakening moment, have some moment when you experience something. Now, not everybody in them has experienced that. But when you experience it, what I've noticed is that I don't experience it when I'm striving to experience it. I've had meditation experiences that were just out of this world, that were fantastic. I walk out of them, and the world is different. The world is shimmering. It's like a burning bush. The trees are all shimmering. And when I try to do it again, what am I doing? I'm efforting because I think I'm not there. So instead of efforting, they've all happened when I stopped efforting. I do the practices. I do my daily meditation. I do my daily affirmative prayer. I walk out in the world, and there are times when it's like, joy, bliss, oneness, and not even a ness, just one, by efforting less, by allowing that storm in our brain to calm down. So in our daily lives, what does this really mean? One of the most, one thing that really is so heartwarming for me, it's so rewarding for me, is when somebody comes and tells me how they've taken, a spiritual principle and they've applied it to their life, in the world, in their job, as if, there's a difference between spirituality and the rest of your life. For me, there isn't. It's all one thing. And we talk about being spiritual beings. Yeah, you're a spiritual being, and everything you do in life is spiritual. And it's wonderful to hear this person came back to me and said, I applied this, and this is how I looked at it. And she told a teammate of hers. They're basically, what she said is that there are 3 boxes. So this all relates to letting go of the past. Okay, because the past is what I think really gets in our way more than we think. Because all of those automatic patterns, all of those automatic beliefs, the past are all generated from our past. And so by letting go of them, we can live more into them. We can live more into who we've come here to be. Yes? That makes sense? So she said, what I did was I came up with the idea of 3 boxes. And she told her teammate, when we're going through this exercise, because they're doing it, they're talking about the past, meaning like 2 weeks ago. And you can do this, the past meaning, 20, 30 years ago. It's the same thing. Because 2 minutes ago is no different than 20 years ago. It's still in the past. And whatever we're holding on to from 2 minutes ago or 2 weeks ago is what we're living in the present moment. So she came up with the idea of 3 boxes. Let me get this out and make sure I get this right. So here's the first box. Box number 1. As they're looking at things that had happened in the past and looking at maybe what went right and what went wrong, the first box was, this is the stuff that's out of my control. Okay, so they did a project and something happened and this happened and that happened. It doesn't matter what it is in life, but it was out of that person's control. They had no control over it. So this is the box for, this is not in my control. I can put it in this box. Anybody have one of those situations in their life? Okay, so what can you learn from something that's out of your control? Let go. Acceptance. Non-resistance. It's like, okay, this is just what it is. It's out of my control. I can learn from myself. I don't have to stress about it anymore. It was out of my control. I can learn from this that, even if it feels uncomfortable at the time, I can show up how I want to show up. I can show up as my better self in those situations, recognizing, okay, it's out of my control, and yet here I am willing to do the work. The second box. Everyone take a nice deep breath. Okay, I made a mistake. There's something that I did that wasn't quite right. I was at fault for something happening. So we take all of those and we put them in this box. This is my mistake box. What can we learn from our mistakes? How to do better. Yeah. And not just how to do better, like write better code or do a better spreadsheet or write words that make wordy sense. Clearly, I can do better there. But how can I do better in the situation? And how can I own what's mine to own? Okay, I was a knucklehead. I can own that and not blame and shame myself. I can put it in the box. You see, the thing is, we're not putting it in the box. What we're usually doing is hiding it, right? Oh, I made a mistake. I'm not telling anyone. Everyone keep their mouth shut. No one will know. And what we're doing is we're pushing the blame off on other people. Or when it comes up, oh yeah, I made a mistake. Don't worry. I'm not going to worry about that. Yep, I'm done. I'm done with it. I figured out how to be better. So we just kind of push it aside. We bypass it. We ignore it. We pretend it isn't there. And what happens? It's not in the box. We're still holding on to it. It's still within us. And we'll still make those same mistakes. We'll still show up that way. It's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was done with this. Because we weren't finished processing it. We weren't done with it. See, all of these ideas, these past things are not, not here, they're not bad. What if we thought of them as evolutionary drivers? What if we thought about everything in that box now is a tool for me to learn from? It's like, oh, I'm making that mistake again. Here, let me pick up my box. I have it categorized. What did I do last time? How can I move through it a little bit more effectively here? How can I use it for my good, to bring out more good? How can I shift the energy around it? How can I own what's happening instead of projecting onto other people? The third box is for, you know what? It was in my control. I didn't make a mistake. There's just a new way to look at it. There's a new perspective. Now, this was a very real-world example in a high-tech company. There's just someone came in with a new way to look at it and a new perspective. And how many times, when you have that new way of looking at it, perspective, do you shut down? Do you say, no, my way is the only way? What can you learn from that new perspective? Anything that we learn in our spiritual talk here today that's new for you? Hey, this is just a new perspective. Why am I pushing it away? And what can I use out of it if I look at it? One of the things that I do all the time is question my stuff, whatever I'm trying to think of a word. This blabbering that I do up here, that's a good wordy thing, yeah? Right, all of these talks, I always question these principles. I always question to see, well, how is that really showing up for me? I always try to embody it so that I can see what the truth what truth is there in it for me, so I can be a better wordy person. Yeah, today is just not happening. I don't know. It must not be spirit coming through me. I don't know, but so I can articulate it better, so I can give you better examples, so I can show how it might be relevant to you. So if you took everything that I said and questioned everything that I said and said, how would this work in my life? That's our fifth principle. How can I put this into work in my life so that I can experience more joy, more bliss, more peace of mind? How can I put this in my life and then measure the difference and see? Sometimes, in this growing up phase of cleaning up phase of cleansing our consciousness and growing up phase of spiritual growth, we don't know it until we're there. All of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm less pissed off. That's general. I'm generally in favor of that. How about you? Yeah, so, there's a little shift in me. I'm a little kinder. If I look back, because a lot of times we don't see it until we're in it. And if we look back 5 years or 10 years, it's like, oh yeah, I'm a different person. That's because we didn't bypass it. We didn't shove it away. We put it in the box and used it. Now, when you're done with the box, when the box is full, you've taken it out of your consciousness, out of your awareness. You've put it in the box. You can certainly give the box away, although I don't know if anybody's going to want to wear that. But what most of us do is package it up and put it in the attic, right? Because those experiences, the events don't go away, but our perspective about it goes away. Our perspective about it changes. Our belief about it changes. And so when we're able to change that story, that structure about that belief, all of that information is still there. And when it comes up again, it's like, oh, okay, I remember it's in this box, in the attic, or in the basement, depending on where you live. and or in the closet or in the storage unit, and I can go get it, and I can say, yes, here's what I learned. Here's what I can continue to learn from it. So instead of bypassing it, we're using it as an evolutionary driver. We're using it as something that will lift us up. And do it in a way that's less efforting, less trying, and just being in it and allowing it with more ease and grace. Let's move to our affirmation. Whenever you're ready, Felix, the affirmation slide. So listen to my words as I read them and see how it lands in you. With ease and grace, I honor, learn, and grow from my past. I'm not pushing anything away. I'm not diminishing anything that happened to me. I'm not saying that what happened to me is good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not giving weight to anything. I'm just saying I'm establishing that sense of ease and grace in this present moment. I'm honoring my past. I'm learning from my past, and I'm growing so that I can experience more freedom, more kindness, more bliss, more joy, more compassion, more self-compassion. All of those attributes of life that we are seeking to experience. Would you affirm this with me together? With grace and ease, I honor, learn, and grow from my past. And so it is. So with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us take this into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to breathe into this present moment, to close your eyes if that feels comfortable or soften your gaze. As we begin to tune out the outer experience, the outer sensations, with each breath we begin to settle our thoughts, our emotions, our bodies. And as you breathe, if you sense any stress or strain in your thoughts, minds, or your body, I invite you to bring your attention to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the energy of the earth as you sense maybe roots growing from your feet, grounding you in this present moment. Put your attention in your hands and allow them to be open. The space between your fingers relaxed. As we breathe into this present moment, with each breath, we experience that divine light, that love, that wisdom within us, simply shining, expressing, being. We rest in our beingness and allow that divine, beautiful nature to shine in the stillness of the silence. from this experience of oneness with the allness of life, love, and wisdom. Feeling that warm presence, feeling that light as we shine. We affirm with ease and grace, I honor, learn, and grow from my past. I live my life with ease and grace. I am the expression of love, wisdom, kindness, compassion, and peace. As we allow this light to shine, we turn our attention to our prayer chest, or if there's anybody who you hold in prayer, I invite you to say their name out loud now or bring their name to mind. As we affirm that divine love is doing its perfect work in each person and in each situation. Divine intelligence is inspiring and guiding effortlessly. We hold the same prayer for all of our world, national, and state and local leaders, affirming peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together, this celebration of our spiritual community, let us celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this time and this space. And as we gently open our eyes, we just allow that feeling of emergence, that feeling of love to emerge from us, that feeling of peace, that expression of holiness into the world. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence and to live that magnificence that you are already in this world. We're here because of your generous donations, and there's so many ways in which you can support our spiritual community. If you'd like to give a donation here in the sanctuary, there's a silver box in the back that says Love Offering. You can place your love offering in there. But however you give, whatever manner in which you give to the world, give with love. For it's the energy, it's the manner in which we give to the world, the energy that we give to the world, that we receive from the world. And so, with that love in our hearts, we turn to our affirmation. Our affirmation is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, and it's constant through the trials and the change. One thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love, oh.
On and on and on and on it goes. It overwhelms and satisfies my soul, and I'll never ever have to be afraid. 'Cause one thing
That's right.
remains.
Come on, everybody. never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love, oh, your love. On and on and on and on it goes. It overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I never ever have to be afraid. 'Cause one thing remains. One thing remains. Never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, come on, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Oh, your love, your love, your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love, 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 never runs out on me, on me, on me, on me, on me. No, yeah. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love. I know, I know, I know, I know your love.
Your love,
Never ever runs out.
no, never, never.
No, no, never, 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 never ever runs out.
Never give
Ever runs out. It never runs out on me. You never give up on me. Never give up on me. Lord, you never give up. Lord, you never give up. Oh, Lord, you never give up, give up. No, no. No, no, you never give up, never give out, never, ever, ever, ever on me. Your love never gives up, never gives out, never, never gives up, never, ever gives out. Oh, Lord, tonight. Oh, Lord, now. Oh, Lord, now. Never give up,
your love,
never give up,
never, never.
never give up, give out. What do you think of that praise team? Come on, give them some love. They worked really hard. I'm really proud of them.
Hello? There you go. Actually, I was like, wow. I love it to come like after the offering song and to hear something like that. Can we give them actually that love? The Voices of Unity praise team. And how can I mean, you heard Ron E. back there, beyond the drums and the voice. And of course, the coolness with spades, Russell Norman.
Yeah.
Woo!
Rico Suave.
Okay, Rico Suave. So love alone, that is love right there. And of course, our very own Reverend John Riley today with the 3 boxes. The blabbering works. And the cool thing about that is that we can take this moment to express the gratitude and the appreciation that we have for the community that we have here at Unity Palo Alto, and the connection that we have here, whether we are in person or whether it's online or whether we tune in during the week. And so I would like I would like to invite you to take this moment with me to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. Take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and sighing it out. And with your hand on your heart, just remember how the love that you have from this community, from Unity Palo Alto, and the love that you have for this community and the connection that we have here. And I invite you that send out that love from your heart to the person next to you, to the person online, and to everyone else, to our friends and family here at Unity. And we say to this person, to each other, thank you. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And the cool thing is, we have more opportunity for community and connection beyond our Sunday service. You know, we have many opportunities indeed for spiritual growth, sacred service, and celebrating our community here at Unity Palo Alto, starting with speaking of ease and grace, this time in a more physical way. Because starting today, we have the inner yoga and meditation with Eric. I know he's the guy who's the tall guy there at our Voices of Praise team. So he'll be doing a yoga class this afternoon at 11:30 at the Fireside Room. So it's not so there you go, the ease and grace that we're talking about, and how even through yoga you can honor and learn and grow from our past and have that enlightenment that Reverend John was talking about during his 3 boxes talk today. Then it keeps getting better, because tomorrow, Monday, we have a course in miracles at 6 p.m. Same location, Fireside Room, this time at the library. You can join. It's going to start starts in February. I'm not sure if Praveen is here today. No, I don't see him. So the cool thing is, if you've heard of A Course in Miracles, it's actually a self-study spiritual thought system that teaches that the way of universal love and peace is by undoing those 3 boxes that Reverend John talked about. The guilt, this one through forgiving others, the boxes of mistake, the boxes that out of control, and gives us a new perspective, because the Course in Miracles focuses on the healing of relationships and making them holy. It keeps getting better. Speaking of perspective, we have a play happening here at our sanctuary on February 11 called Words That Made the Difference. It's the Brown versus Board of Education play. As you know, in Unity, we believe that people are divine and made in God's image and likeness. So racial equity and inclusion are aligned with both our name and, of course, our values. And thanks to our Belonging DEI team, they're thrilled to present Dr. Cindy Akers' Words That Made the Difference. It's a historical theater play with an all-black cast. And the script draws from the transcript of the actual trial of Brown versus Board. So that's going to be here on February 11th, Saturday. And if you want to meet the playwright, she'll be here. You can talk to her at 6:15. The performance itself is going to be at 7 p.m. And the cool thing is, it is free. And you are welcome to donate, because all of that donation will go to our general fund. And if you would like to volunteer, you can talk to our lovely Karen Friedman, who's right there in her red 49er shirt. Go Niners today. We got this championship, right? Oh, okay. It's a mixed race cast. So there you go. Talk about racial equality and inclusion. So if you... So we have many more opportunities like this on our website at unitypaloalto.org. And you can also check out our social media channels. So there are so many ways to connect with us and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. So today is the 5th Sunday of the month. Time flies, right? And today we get to bless each other. So I invite you to stand, extend your hands out, and once that the affirmation is on the slide, there you go. We say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. And remain standing and we'll song our song of peace.
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
Right. Here we go. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. Yeah. I am holding on to you in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I'm holding on in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am holding on to you. I am holding on to you in the middle of the storm. I am holding on. I am. Yeah. Woo! Thank you, Russell. You're